It's time for Twig This Week in Google. 1 billion Android phones within the next 9 months. We'll talk about that. Eric Schmidt says he likes Facebook Home. That Mark, he's a nice boy. And a preview of the new HTC One from Android. It's all coming up next on Twig.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for This Week in Google is provided by Cachefly. CACHEFLY.com. This is Twit, This Week in Google, episode 194, recorded April 17th, 2013. Be kind, rewind. This Week in Google is brought to you by Shutterstock.com. With over 20 million high-quality stock photos, illustrations, vectors, and video clips, Shutterstock helps you take your creative projects to the next level. For 30% off your new account, go to Shutterstock.com and use the offer code TWIG4. It's time for Twig This Week in Google, the show where we cover Google, the Googleverse, the Cloudiverse. We just talk about whatever the hell we want to, really, with Gina Trapani, smarterware.org, and thinkup.com. Hi, Gina.
Hello, good to be here.
So nice to see you again. Also
Great
the
to
host
see you too.
of All About Android.
All about Android. Oh, yeah.
I got a little something for you today. I'll show
yeah?
you.
Oh, boy.
Just a
Oh,
little-
you got the one.
Oh,
didn't
you figured it
No,
out.
sorry.
Oh,
I didn't mean to preempt the news. I'm so excited. That thing is so beautiful.
oh, I love it. I'm
Okay.
in love. But anyway, we'll talk about it in a moment. Because first, I have to say hello to our other hosts, Jeff Jarvis from BuzzMachine.com, professor of journalism, graduate
Jeff, I
professor
love you
of
anyway,
journalism.
Jarvis.
Jeff, I love you anyway. You're gonna keep this up, huh? We're gonna have a feud.
Wait. Just before the show, you're doing insulting my Chromebook again. You won't let it go.
It's my fault. Oh, now it's
Yes.
my fault.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Jeff is also professor of journalism at
All over
City.
the audience out there, they're saying, "Oh no, they're at it again."
No.
Stop.
Professor of journalism at.
Or as Gina would say,
You weren't really doing that. Were you doing that?
Oh, it's the
Apparently,
picture.
at
You
one
gotta see
point
the
I
picture.
was. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
can
there's
you
another person here. Also with us, Lamar Wilson, YouTuber Lamar Wilson, the host of our show This Week in YouTube every Sunday on the Twit Network.
How are you? Good to be here.
Nice to have you. He's also, of
Yes.
course, on YouTube, Lamar Wilson. Hey, I got a YouTube story. We'll lead off with a YouTube story. You know our show This Week in YouTube? Blocked
Yes.
on YouTube.
"Oh no."
What?
You got blocked already? Oh.
Well, not the show, but
The whole damn show.
the latest episode.
Well, there's only one, dude. This is the first episode.
Well, Zero's still on there, but yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah, there is an episode 0.
Episode 0
Yeah.
survived.
So is it
Yeah,
is it TWIYT on YouTube? YouTube.com/TW?
It's This Week YT.
This week, White.
This Week YT.
We're
Now,
very
we're
creative
theorizing that maybe we don't get as much slack on this because we're a new YouTube channel.
I bet that's what it is. That's why we have a contact at Google. We need to push this probably to him because I think that's what it is. It's a new account, and a lot of spam accounts come up new, and they start putting up illegal content right away.
Right.
So they're probably treating us no differently.
That's what I would
Because-
guess. I would hope.
Yeah.
Because so what the weird thing is, it was one of those automatic content things, and it was by Psy. Remember, Psy was very famous in his first video, Oppo Gangnam Style, that he let everybody do anything they wanted with it. I don't know if they issued takedowns, but it was very free, and Psy
They
was
never did.
no takedowns. Well, boom, he's got a new song now. I guess he's a big shot, doesn't need anybody. We played just a few, maybe 15, 20 seconds of his new video, right? And talked a little bit about it,
Yeah.
and
That
how
was
hard it might be to do it.
It wasn't even the whole thing.
No.
Which, by the way, sucks.
But here's the interesting thing. Now, Chad, correct me if I'm wrong, but he said they say the automatic content filter detected it as a live performance of that song.
Yeah, the live performance of Psy's the new song. I don't even know what the
So we
name of it.
appealed it. They did have the appeal process, and they said no.
Well, no, they said sure, but it's going to take us. It could take us up to a month to get to it, which for a new show is a
can
big
make-
deal.
That's episode one.
We can make that go faster. That's ridiculous.
Well, we're gonna pull in all our chits with people like you and
You know what I think you should do? You should go back and edit it, and you should just have a black screen that says "Sigh as a jerk" during that time.
That's a great idea, Jeff. And we did that.
and still,
Except now that our account is no longer in good standing, we can only upload videos less than 15 minutes long.
we'll have to have a mini show.
Googlers, YouTubers.
No, I have a guy. We'll take care of it.
We're theorizing that because it's fair. First of all, it's fair use. We didn't play the whole song. It's a news show. It's commentary, and normally we can make that appeal because we get knocked down all the time on all of our channels.
But there's so many shows to do. What's Trending does this. I mean, that's the basis of their show is to put other people's videos in there, and they get away with it. So
yeah, but Shira's a lot better looking than I am, and I think that
this is accurate.
So no, but let me show you. I just got an email from YouTube. It happens all the time. This is I don't even know what show this is. This might be a Twit episode. They just blocked it. This video contains content from a Brazilian radio and TV. It doesn't, by the way, from either of these, and a Hungarian television station. One or more of whom have blocked it. They pulled this video down, even though there is, I guarantee you, no Brazilian or Hungarian content at all.
There have to be penalties for these bad takedowns.
This happens so much. We need some sort of slap shield law or something.
And from an article I think we saw, and we talked about maybe 2 weeks ago, I have to dig it up. This may actually get worse with some new rules. Remember, we talked about this. Universal got in bed.
UMG, yeah.
UMG. And so there might not be any appeal process. That's something you actually brought to light the episode before.
Well, I think
0.
you should be. I think you should threaten Psy and these scumbags with suits.
Counter suits.
Yeah, sue them. They're clearly losing you business. There's tangible damage to you. I think that's going to turn this around a bit, and Google finds itself in the middle of those things. They don't want that.
No, and like I said, we have a rep that reached out to us. They like the show. They've blessed the show. They don't have a
That's
problem
right.
with YouTube in the name, and so that's the guy I said I was going to reach out to because
Good. He asked. He said, "If you have any trouble, let me know." Hey, guess what?
we have trouble.
We've got trouble.
And so I'm not going to whine about this, but what it does raise is this larger issue. If YouTube wants, how do they balance this? I mean, I remember when YouTube started before Google bought it. We were talking to the founders of, I think it was Jeffrey Chen we were talking to, one of the founders of YouTube, and I asked him that question. This was the 6-month-old startup. Aren't you going to get sued out of existence? And he didn't have really a very good. He said no, but he didn't have a very good answer. I think he was already negotiating with Google. I have to think that. This was the best way to save this company is to pair up with Google. Google's response is, no, we're going to use the safe harbor provisions of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. We're going to offer DMC takedowns, and content providers will have a good recourse. But now it's swung so far in the opposite direction that independent content creators like me, and I'm sure others, right, Lamar, are getting hurt by this.
Yeah, it's so many people that are getting hit by this, and some, like, again, journalists like yourself, or just people who are innocently just trying to create good content or commentary are getting hit unfairly. And again, there may be no appeal process in the future. And I think on one hand, on a business side, they feel like they have to do this to keep everybody happy. That's on the business side, but it hurts content creators like us, obviously. And so I don't see a way out of this unless we do what Jeff said in some type of legal action.
I can't go around
lawyers.
suing Hungarian television and Brazilian radio. I'm not litigious. I think you're right, Jeff. That would be a good thing to do. But,
No, but I think there's an opportunity here for the likes of an EFF to give cover to a Google to say that there's a real tangible business damage that's being caused here. And we can't just willy-nilly take this. And it forces Google to say that if you issue 3 bad takedown notices in a row, you're out for a month. Let's penalize them.
So there's a couple of things that come to mind. First of all, I think, and I've mentioned this before, that people are gaming it. I don't think either this Brazilian or Hungarian. Now, normally what I would say is they wouldn't do a takedown. They'd want to have ads placed on our content and make a little money off of it. So a takedown, I don't understand the benefit of that. But it's obviously an erroneous takedown. But the second point,
because the ad ran on that channel, and so they're matching.
No.
I mean the video that you featured also ran on this.
No, on
Hungarian channel.
Well, I hope not. On Hungarian radio and
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they did some commentary. I mean, maybe kind of a similar thing, right?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. And then the bot sort of erroneously picked up, made the match for unrelated I don't know. I'm trying to imagine, how this happened. But anyway, so go ahead, Leo. I didn't mean to interrupt.
So that's one issue, and that both those videos are down. In fact, our channel, our This Week in YouTube channel, is down now because we can't upload content to it.
Yeah.
More than longer than 15 minutes. But then there's the second issue, which somebody in the chat room pointed out. What this does do is push independent people like Lamar and others to go work for these YouTube partner channels, because the YouTube partner channels have the clout and to protect you.
Which is interesting because I feel like that's what YouTube wants to happen. At first, I wonder why YouTube
I'm thinking.
allowed these networks to exist in the beginning. But YouTube is still going to they still take their, 45% cut no matter what. So they don't care if a network comes in and wants to cut you out some more. It takes the pressure off them to be able to have to offer technical support, to have to offer any kind of support. They can say, hey, you talk to your network. And then they'll have a rep who will handle the whole network. So I think that's where they're moving to, where they're hands off. It's like, hey, Universal made a deal with Maker or whoever it is. That's their business. You deal with them.
And I think that's just the wrong direction, because I think the whole beauty of YouTube is the democratizing nature of it that gives anybody, a kid in Hungary who wants to do a chance to do a show and get global distribution. But if he's at a major disadvantage because big companies can stomp on him, I don't think that,
What proportion of your views comes on YouTube?
It's not hugely significant. That one that they pulled down had about 5,000 views. But This Week in YouTube is going to be a little more significant. It's a show about YouTube, and not being able to post those shows on YouTube hurts us pretty badly. I think it also should make people question whether YouTube should be part of their distribution strategy. That the nice thing about YouTube is you get free bandwidth, but if you get pulled off all the time, this is not a good way for you to consider. Maybe you should look at Vimeo or somebody else. That's going to hurt you. I think that hurts YouTube.
Yeah, I think it does.
It'll be interesting to see what they say when you speak to your contact. It sounds like you need to talk to a human.
Yeah, I've emailed him already, so
Okay.
he'll get back to us.
I have a Python script that can interact with them beautifully, and I've been writing it. We should just have, really, if you're going to talk to YouTube, you should have a Python script on your side. I agree.
Appeal.py, no.
Yeah. They do claim they're improving the Content ID system. I've yet to see any evidence of that. All right. Moving along, because I don't want to make this all about me. You want to see my new phone?
Yes, we want to see phone.
We should put all our shows on Daily Motion, even This Week in YouTube. What do you think?
Daily Motion?
Well,
Why?
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever watched a Daily Motion video.
It's big in Europe.
Perhaps.
Wasn't Yahoo rumored to be bidding for them?
Yeah, that was the rumor, I thought.
To me,
Somebody.
the user experience of Daily Motion is worse than
It's so crapped
YouTube.
up. Yeah, because of all the ads and stuff.
Yeah.
It used to do some neat things. Back in the early days, it had some innovative things, but
It's owned by French Telecom, I think, so that's probably not a good choice.
Oh.
Yeah. So the HTC One came
When did it show up? When did it show up?
this morning. I had ordered it and said overnight it. And, of course, it's available on AT&T as of yesterday, the 16th, and they overnighted it, so I got it on the 17th this morning. This is what many say is the best, at least in terms of, attractive hardware Android phone. There's going to look the top new phones are obviously the Galaxy S4, which looks just like a Galaxy of any kind. I think if you're willing to go outside of Android, the new iPhone, which should come out sometime in the next few months, will certainly be a contender. And I think the Nokia Lumias are very nice. HTC also makes a very nice 8X for Windows 8. But we're Android users. We love our Android. Right, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay. I can't remember. You're using an Android phone now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm living La Vida Google.
La
man.
Vida Google.
I am.
You got stuff.
Not my line, somebody else's. I'm in the Google life. I'm it.
Well,
I've got
and I got to say, that's the best thing about a Google phone. What is that, Nexus 4? And a Nexus 7.
4 Nexus 7. I am not just, in the operating system.
Yeah.
I am in Google's pants.
Well,
We should.
what's in there?
Oh, okay.
There's a Python in there. Oh, it's a.
Oh.
Oh.
There's a Python
That's
script.
the
We should talk about the Google Drive downage after the HTC One.
Google Drive downage.
outage.
Ponage.
Ponage.
I like that. It's a good word.
I saw
It's a
Jeff
coinage.
moaning on Twitter like, no, please.
So I've only had this phone for a little bit, and I had to actually call AT&T to activate it. I'm not sure what the activation issues were, but and it will be available, I think, on every carrier in the U.S. and of course it's available around the world. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous phone. 1920 by 1080. Now I haven't changed the HTC Sense. This is the new Sense. Remember, they said they had this new content thing. It's kind of Flipboard on the front page. You can specify what the sources are.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's pretty. Look at that. So that's the front page. It's a little. I'm going to put I'll put Facebook Home on it in a minute, but the new Sense is flat. Notice that's the new style. No more gradients, no more rounded corners, and so forth. Very fast, and I tell you, this screen is so gorgeous, and everybody has said that. 1920 by 1080. But they've done some odd things. There is no home button in the middle. It's just a dead HTC logo. It doesn't do anything. The home button's a little to the right of it, which is an odd place for it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, you got to get used to that. And then the back button is to the left of it. And you know how I feel about the new Google standards. What do they call that? The new Google programming interface?
The ones that no one listens to?
Yeah, that nobody does.
Hello?
What?
Holla.
Mahalo?
Like, hello?
Hello?
Or
No. You know,
holo.
Cholo? What? No.
Holo.
Holo.
That's the holo.
The holo.
thing, yeah.
Okay, so the holo is you have those ... menus everywhere. So there's no menu button, and I really like a phone with a menu button. However, there's the holo style buttons up here, so I could see a menu there. This is 4.12. It's not 4.2, which is too bad. And given how much HTC has customized it with Sense 5, I doubt we will see. It'll be a while, I think, before we'll see.
I still don't have 4.2 on my Note 2, which is frustrating.
The other negative on this, yeah, I do. You're right. I had to root it and put a
Yeah, I don't want to do all that.
Yeah, I don't either. It's a mistake. Don't do it. The other thing that is interesting, of course, is a beautiful unibody aluminum case. I think I read that it took 70 minutes to mill each individual case, and it's beautiful. No removable battery, no additional memory. You can't put an SD card in it. But I have to say, it's the closest thing to an iPhone running Android. I mean, it's just gorgeous. The other thing that's odd, of course, is that they're doing something very strange with the camera, which I support. And it remains to be seen how good this is. It's a 4-megapixel camera, not even a 5. It's a 4. But they've done it because that way they can make the sensor have larger pixel sizes. These pixels are 2 micron compared to the half-micron sensors pixels on some other phones. So 2 micron means great low light performance, and it's a f2 lens. It looks pretty big too, doesn't it? So yeah. I haven't done any photography with it yet. I'll post pictures.
Most people do internet photos, and you in general don't need more than 3 or 4 megapixels, to be honest.
Right.
I mean, most of us are uploading online. It's just, the key is the sensor, how good you can make the picture look.
The screen is so good that the viewfinder looks fabulous. I don't know. I mean, the detail there is fabulous. I don't know how good the picture is going to be, but yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, it's pretty crisp.
Can you disable Sense? This is my only objection with this phone, is that it's not kind of the pure Android Google experience. Is it possible to disable Sense or no?
Don't know. I don't think so. Although, of course, you could put another launcher on it, right?
Yeah, you could put another launcher.
So I'll probably end up putting Nova launcher, which I like, on here. But let me see. I mean, I doubt there's this turn off arc. Sense, by the way, the new Sense 5 is. I mean, look how pretty that is. It's really gorgeous. But yeah, I think a lot of people want
better than Samsung's.
Yes, much better than TouchWiz. TouchWiz is a little junky.
Don't like it.
Yeah, I doubt you can turn off Sense, but you could always put another launcher on here, which I may end up doing. I'm going to put Home on it first.
Right, and Home is compatible with
right.
the
This is one of the home phones. This is the other thing. The sound quality on this is fantastic. It's Beats Audio. I don't have a huge amount of respect for Beats Audio, but What's really cool about it is that they've put stereo speakers on the front, left and right. Now, nobody does this. So if you're watching a movie, you've got speakers left and right, so you have a little bit of stereo separation.
That's why they did that.
Yeah, the sound quality. I don't know if you can hear it, but the sound quality is superb on this. You can't tell, but it really is a beautiful sounding phone. So, stereo. Go ahead.
No, I said I'm sold. I heard that. That was it.
Yeah, yeah. Watching your videos, Lamar, on this on a 1080p screen with stereo speakers.
Oh boy!
Now, if you put it this close, it's just like a big screen.
I don't advise you putting my videos that close at all.
Anyway,
please.
Pocket review of the HTC One. So far, it's beautiful. This is going to be my main phone for at least.
It looks like a gorgeous phone. It really does.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Nothing you'd be ashamed to pull out at an iPhone fest.
Yeah, it looks very much like an iPhone. I realized, it's like, oh, that's a beautiful phone. I want that phone. And I was like, oh, that looks like an iPhone.
But the compromises now. It's 412, HTC Sense on top of it. Buttons are a little odd. No removable battery, which I regret. And no SD card.
I got to say, since I've gone back to Android, I have, especially with this Note 2, I have yet to even care about a removable battery. I just have not.
The Note 2 is huge. That's a giant battery.
Yeah. So it's been a great experience in that sense.
My mom is now my experiment. She's getting the Note 2.
Your mom?
Yeah,
How is she
80-year-old
doing
mom.
with it?
You know what? She loves it because I didn't tell her about the stylus right away. I let her play with it a little bit, and I said, "Oh, there's also this." And she's an artist, and she's sketching now on it. She loves it.
Oh, nice.
She loves it.
You know, it's funny. I gave my mom a stylus for the iPad, and she has long nails. She has long nails that she has done, and when I hand her the stylus, she's like, "Oh, so much better."
Yeah.
You know, it just made she liked it a lot more. But that's really cool to hear an artist sketching on
Yeah, she's
on it. That's
having fun.
nice.
She's, I can make cards. I said, yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. So and she's figuring it out. This is a real challenge. She's 80 years old. Sharp as a tack, but she because she has an iPad and a laptop. But I installed LastPass, and I'm teaching her how to use LastPass. Her passwords, she has a Word document on her desktop called Passwords.
Oh, passwords.doc.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. So
But LastPass, like teaching mom how to use LastPass, that's first of all ambitious.
yes, extraordinarily.
I haven't gotten my wife onto LastPass yet, and she's no slouch. Like she knows, she just has no patience for anything that isn't easy. You know what I mean? Like it's less about her not being able to get it. It's more about her just being like, this is ridiculous that I have to go through this. Like we need a better system than passwords. You know. And LastPass is, I use it and I love it, but it's a little nerdy. You know.
It's pretty nerdy. She seems to be getting it. She likes the idea that she only has to remember one password. We created a nice long password. She said, okay, now I'm going to write it down. I said, no, you're not. The last password has to be up here. She said, I can't remember anything. I said, well, we're going to work it out. And I came up with a mnemonic for her, and I think she'll remember it. Of course, I kept a copy of it just in case.
Leo is a wonderful son. That's it.
No.
Yeah.
She's going to hate me when she gets home and can't figure out how to use her phone. But she had a feature phone, like a really old, bad feature phone that didn't even work. So this is going to be her first.
I bet that big screen is perfect for her. Then
she loves that.
I had to think about that for a minute.
That's why I went there. Exactly, Lamar. And it's actually a much lower resolution than this, ironically, than the HTC One, even though it's 5.5 inches. But she can read. It's much easier. I even made the text a little bit bigger. They have Samsung has a simple launcher version that is perfect for her. So we'll see.
When is the next? Do we know when the next Google phone is coming out? The official?
They haven't announced. I imagine at Google I/O. Right? Are you coming, Jeff, for Google I/O or not?
As of now, yes, I am.
So here's what we're going to do, and this will be the first announcement of this. We decided yesterday. I've been chewing on this. I couldn't think of another way to do it. Google was not going to give us anywhere to broadcast from Google I/O, nor were they going to give us additional passes for technical crew. So if we were going to do anything from there, we would have to leave the building. And so I've decided we'll all be there at the keynote. We'll do a live broadcast, as we always do, of the keynote, but Tom Merritt will host that here. You and I and Gina will all be in the audience going, when do I get my phone? And then, if it's not under our seat, we'll allow a little time to get in line and get the phone. And then I'm going to drive you all up here, and we'll do Twig at pretty much its normal time, maybe a little later.
You'll put a blindfold on me on the way.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Full bag,
If you're driving,
brown
I'll be okay. If you're driving, I'll be okay.
I'll drive and
Center lane.
I'll tell you
Center
when to,
lane's
yeah, oh yeah, I never
Center
go
lane.
near the edge or near the middle. I always right down the middle. And I drive the speed limit.
Middle, but just not the edge. Not the edge.
Oh, I feel so
This is
bad.
going to be a fun ride.
Gina, you'll have to sit in the back seat and hold Jeff's hand.
No problem.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, it's okay. It's gonna
I'll be
all
like
right.
this.
So guess who is getting his Google Glass as we speak?
Mr. Scoble.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, you all are frozen.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
This is from last week.
Oh.
This is me and Jeff. We're fighting. Dad and Dad are fighting, and poor Gina, she's just sitting there. Don't fight. Don't fight.
Oh my God.
Isn't that cute? Thank you, Chad. That's
That was
awesome.
completely involuntary. I didn't realize you got the guys got the big eyes and everything.
Ooh, I love that. I want that. I'm gonna put that on my Facebook.
You know, I just realized how sad it is. I said you all are frozen as if I'm not paying attention to your clothes at all. They're completely different.
Yeah, or the fact that you're not in the picture, all of that. But that's okay. We were frozen. It just was
for observant there.
from another time. So,
You're going to drive us up.
yeah, and we'll do the show. So we'll have our coverage of it, and maybe we'll have some free stuff under our arms when we come up.
And then
And what about the day 2?
You can go back. I can't help you there.
Okay. Well, no.
I know they do 3 keynotes. We can't do. I'm not. But last year, the big one with Sergey coming on the roof and all that. That was the first one, right?
Yeah, so day 1 is
Day
the
one.
day.
Yeah, that was.
I think they've wised up because, a couple of years ago, it was like day 3 had all the big announcements. But I think they've wised up and they realize press has very limited attention span.
Yeah.
Last year, I was supposed to be there, but I had my appendectomy.
That's right.
Right. That's right.
I couldn't go.
This will be your
And then
first
this
Google
year-
I/O without
this year
an appendix.
I was going to be gone at a much longer trip, but I've decided to shorten all my trips. And I'm taking I'm going to London tonight for basically one day.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm coming out there for 2 days real fast and back.
Oh, Jeff.
And
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm doing only short trips now. And
Well, don't
and
run
so-
back to San Francisco after Twig. I hope we can all have dinner. And
Yeah, that'd be
because I
great.
owe Jeff a beer or 2. I'm going to spill it on his Pixel.
Oh man.
Does your nice little Italian restaurant serve crow fricassee?
Yeah, I'll have some crow. I'll eat some crow. So anyway, Scoble's getting
We're
his.
going to be in the back of the car. We're going to be in the back of the car, Gina and I, and she's going to be able to use my Pixel the whole way, and she'll be saying, "Ooh."
Oh, right, because you got the you got the connected one. I'm gonna be like, you guys talk. I'm gonna prep the show doc.
I'm a little disappointed. I tried AT&T's LTE on the one here, and it's 5 megabits down, 1 megabit up. That's fast enough, but I was hoping for
That
faster.
down is nice.
5. Well, I get 20 on Verizon LTE here, but I think more people have AT&T here. Probably, a lot of iPhone users in Petaluma. So, again, you're cutting me off because I want to be angry. Scoble's getting his glass today.
No.
Yes.
At 11 a.m., I believe. or
As
1.
we speak, I think it was
As
1
they
o'clock.
used
He's
to
getting
say
trained.
on Seinfeld. Scoble.
Yeah, and there was an unboxing last night. Someone did one that was posted. So
right, here's
I
the
hate
question, though.
unboxing videos, but I
Big
watched
question.
it.
Big question.
Yeah.
Big question. Important question for all of us.
Yeah.
Which color?
What? There's colors?
Oh, I didn't even realize
Yes,
there was a
color.
choice of colors.
Oh yes, tangerine being one of them.
I'm not wearing. Well, maybe you should if you're going to wear Google Glass. You should have,
There's
Right,
like
just be-
black.
you're gonna look
security
crazy.
orange.
Oh, yeah. Chat room. Where are they? Where are the colors? I lost it.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know you. So the way I understand they're doing it is the first 2,000, the people who got it at Google I/O got reservations last year. I thought they were going to get them first.
They did.
Well, I haven't
Yeah.
got mine.
Oh,
I got an email saying that I was going to get an email with details soon. And I think you did too, Leo, or Jason did.
Oh, Jason would have gotten it because Jason was the one who actually bought it. Jason, you got the email about getting in the email, or did you get the email for the glass?
You sold it on eBay already.
He got the preliminary, same one you got,
Yeah.
Gina.
Yeah, the email
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
there was
But
going to
nothing
be an
else.
email.
So it's in your name. Okay, that's fine. Just let me know because I got the credit card. Okay. Because we're getting it the minute we can get it. But so I'm a little disappointed. Maybe they're doing it to like special brand ambassadors like Robert Google.
Scoble?
Robert
Well,
Scoble.
Robert
I'm sure
also
Scoble
gave up
was-
his iPhone and everything and gave his loyalty to Android for us. I'm sure that sped up the process.
You know, I hate that because I've been using Android for a long time. You know, and then a Notco says I'm giving up the iPhone and gets all this attention, and Scoble says I'm giving up the iPhone. What do I gotta do here?
I'm sure Scoble was like first in line at I/O last year.
Maybe
though.
that's why. Maybe he has
No.
one. I have 737.
Yeah, you're way ahead of me too. I'm like 1894. So,
Yeah, so I should hear soon.
you should hear soon.
I'm in
Yeah.
the top half.
Don't
Did you
you
see
feel
this-
sad for 666? I mean, that person has to. just-
No, I would embrace
Oh,
that.
that's
I'll
so
trade.
cool. I'd
you
sell
see
the
this,
block
this-
on eBay.
Yeah. Do we get to keep the
college-
paperweight?
This college student actually tried to sell his, I think it's a he, his invitation on eBay
Oh, you're not
for
allowed,
five
right?
grand. I put it at the bottom of the glass section in the dock, but then he rescinded it. Please note, this auction is being removed due to finding out the Google Glass cannot be resold once obtained.
How do they stop you from doing that?
ID. They probably hardwire your ID. in there.
They link the ID to your Google account.
Haven't you heard about the Google police force?
Yeah. It's only a matter of time.
They land on your roof in helicopters.
Yeah.
So have you seen the? I swear there's colors. This is an important decision.
This is an important decision. I'm gonna go. I go black. I do with my
Black?
phones.
No, white.
Yeah.
Black?
Either black or
I
white.
don't know,
Probably
white glasses, Leo, really fit.
But they're not
Think
really
about when you last
glasses.
saw-
They're just
Right,
very
it's
white
the color of
glasses.
the
It wouldn't-
thing
it
over
wouldn't
your
look right at
eyeball,
all.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's this whole thick thing.
Yeah.
So
Go with a nice pomegranate.
pomegranate.
It's like 5 colors. I wish I could find it.
So the spec sheet is out. I could talk about the specs while you're looking for the illustrations of the colors. Adjustable nose pads,
And you get 2 extra pairs.
2 extra pairs, extra nose pads in 2 sizes.
That's nice.
Durable frame fits any face. High resolution display, the equivalent of a 25-inch. They're the colors.
There they are, okay.
So there's kind of
The names
cyany
are
blue.
fun.
There's a blue.
Charcoal, tangerine, shale, cotton, and sky.
Good Lord.
Sky is awful.
Sky is
Right,
Lumia
so
is
black.
is Windows 8 phone blue. Lumia blue.
Black.
Gmail. Blue.
Charcoal tangerine.
I'm thinking
Charcoal,
charcoal
maybe
or
even black.
The only one that makes
Charcoal.
sense is charcoal. I mean, the other one's just it's too gaudy.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't know, Lamar. Lamar, you could make a statement with the tangerine.
I don't know. I might want the gaudy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a statement would be made. Please steal me.
Nobody's going to steal that. No, because it's useless.
It would match your IKEA Kimstra chair behind you.
Hey, that's a new chair.
Ooh, I like that. I haven't seen
Nice
that
chair.
before. Very nice.
Yeah.
Bright red.
Did you put it together yourself?
Of course not.
Is it an IKEA?
It is. When I first
yeah.
got this place, I paid the extra $400 to let them build my whole place. I
Yeah.
had no energy for it because I had just driven 3,000 miles.
No.
I mean 2,000 miles. I was not going to
That's
put
the
together.
closest I get to feeling male.
You build your own IKEA?
Oh, you bet. You bet.
Would you like to come to my house?
I feel my own too.
You do too?
Yeah, only time I feel like handy and capable when it comes to tools. It's true.
Work,
It's the
you
same.
do too? Chad, you do too?
I'm in the middle of building a bookcase.
Lamar, you and I are the only pussies in here. That's terrible. I didn't know that. I thought it was too hard for a human. I thought the whole idea was, well, the furniture only costs you $100, but it's $500 to assemble it. I thought that was the whole thing. It's really
no,
cheap.
No,
Except
that used to be they wouldn't deliver. All right, you've hit one thing. I am such a fan of IKEA.
I hate IKEA.
Oh, I love IKEA.
Well, no
Here we
wonder
go
you
again.
like the Pixel.
I love it. I was when it came to Philadelphia, I was so amazed that it could happen. My wife and I were so amazed that we said we've got to go see the country where this was created, and we actually made us go to Sweden on vacation
What?
because of IKEA.
You know, there's horse meat in the meatballs, right?
I am proud.
Not
that I fit
anymore.
an
Oh, not
entire
anymore.
dining
Okay.
in my Honda, and then I put it all together myself. We did.
All right. Well, we have an IKEA here, and I went and I bought 2-bedroom sets in my office furniture, but I didn't have the nerve to assemble it. It looked daunting.
No, it's fun. It's fun.
It looked daunting,
No.
and there's no words. It's just pictures of strange ball-headed
it's not work.
people.
Yeah.
It's fun until you twist that one piece in and lock it and realize that
Then
the wood is
realize,
misaligned. And then you have to, in my case, go to my wife and be like, please fix this.
Oh, you have to,
I guess what happened in my case, and I think I said this before it became a meme. But I looked at all the furniture. I was like, "Ain't nobody got time for that." And so I didn't do it. Nobody got time for that. I'm like, y'all put this together. I ain't
that's
doing
my
that.
exact reaction. Yes, it was cheap furniture, but I'm going to pay $500. That's what I paid for 2-bedroom sets in an office. That's not too bad to assemble it. But I've decided it's kind of, I don't like them. There's something I feel.
I have never done such a good job of derailing the show as right now.
Okay, so
I have set
that
us
table
off.
is cheap. That's $329.
They're great. They're great.
But then it takes 4 hours to assemble it.
Oh, it does.
What's your hourly rate? I'm going to have you over.
It was how I worked out all my nervous energy during the pregnancy. It's like, okay, let's put the baby's dresser together.
Well, I'm encouraged now. I think I can do this now. I think I can. If you guys could do it, I should be able to do this.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you had to have some skills.
I fit our entire dining room set when we had it in my Honda Civic.
There's
I was
no
so proud of
way.
that.
In a Civic.
Yeah, because
The
it's just
Civic.
flats. It's a bunch of flats. Nothing's too big.
We had this whole big set. I mean, we've grown up since then. We have a grown up.
I'm going to have to try it. I've assembled
no,
furniture. I looked at that. I thought this looks really hard, and I hired somebody to
Gina's
do
right
it.
too. It's wonderfully distracting.
Yeah, all right. Well, it turned out that there were 2 pieces missing from my desk, so it's been sitting on pieces on my floor for 6 months. So I have to go to IKEA to get those 2 more pieces.
Yeah, you go through the exit and you go to the desk there and you say, I need the and the.
You're right. That's what they said. You are an IKEA pro.
Oh, I am. I'm telling you, man. I am telling you. I know IKEA. The ad agency for IKEA was Donny Deutsch. And he was also the ad agency for Entertainment Weekly. And so we sat in one of the first meetings about Entertainment Weekly, and I said, IKEA, you represent IKEA. I love IKEA. I started telling him all these stories. I was IKEA, and I tell him all the rooms in my house where I have IKEA, and he finally just sits there, and I'll censor myself, and he just said, you are effing disturbed.
Okay, so the chat room, Web 7771 in our chat room said, Dan Ariely, who wrote Predictably Irrational, he's a brilliant, interesting guy who does the psychology of economics and econometrics. And he says, Dan Ariely says, this is an intentional device from IKEA. He says, because you invest so much in assembling this furniture, you love it. You have now invested in this furniture.
It's like the reason in early cake, when early cake mixes came out, and you could just make the whole cake from the mix.
They didn't need eggs. They didn't need milk, just water.
They didn't like that. So that's why they took the eggs out. You had to put the eggs in, so you felt you invested something in it.
Isn't that funny?
That's interesting.
That's why I feel like my furniture is strangers to me. Like I'm not comfortable sitting on it.
You and I are alienated from our bedroom sets because we didn't put the time in to build them.
I still have my beloved Stockholm chair.
I'm at my jerker desk. I won't give this thing up. I love it. I absolutely love it. They stopped making it. It's so funny. When I moved across country to California, like I really struggled. Like back in Brooklyn, I had all this IKEA furniture that was like under $100 because I was, in my 20s or whatever.
Right.
And it's like I really just should have gotten rid of it instead of moving it across country.
You invested it. You invested in it.
I was like,
You
built
built
this
it.
thing, and I
made it with my own hands.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. It's a very effective psychological trick.
It is.
All right.
Work for me. All
right. I got to now I feel bad. I'm going to assemble. I'm going to go out.
Now, of course, we have to have tape of this too.
Why?
Maybe when we come up for IO, we'll go get your missing pieces.
You will do the wrong thing.
Okay.
You will get. It'll be funny. It's good.
So everybody the first time puts it in sideways.
Yeah.
And then you go.
And then you realize, it was so illogical of me. I clearly see now what it was trying to tell me. I just wasn't.
We have. Is that shelves? Those shelves out there, IKEA? So there's shelves where we put our snacks for the employees. And there's one shelf that's put in backwards, so you see the press wood instead of the laminate. And ain't nobody gonna ever fix that.
Right.
It's glued in.
It's glued in.
Burke says it can't fix it. It's glued in.
And so you can use your Google Glass to monitor yourself building this.
What? Because that's the problem is you have the piece of paper and you got to go back and forth. If I had the glass, I could have the instructions piercing my eyeball.
You see how I brought us back? I brought us back, baby.
Thank you.
Good.
So it's a high resolution display. Thank you, Lamar. You're the John C. Dvorak of this episode.
I don't think so.
It's a high-resolution display,
Yep.
the equivalent of a 25-inch high-def screen from 8 feet away. That's pretty small.
But that's also kind of BS. It's still a little bit.
Yeah, it's a weird. I mean, I guess they had to create some sort of comparison.
That's like saying this is the equivalent of an 80-inch screen. You know,
Right.
What does it mean?
Well, but no, they're talking about the angle. You know, the camera's only 5 megapixels, 720p video, so it's kind of a lower quality, but that's fine. Again, you know, this is 4 megapixels, 5's fine. The audio, this worries me, bone conduction transducer. So that's when you have a thing on your temple that goes bzz, 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 and you're supposed to hear it. I've never found those work very well. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 12 gigs of usable memory. You could put some apps on this. Syncing with Google Cloud Storage, 16 gigs of flash total. They say in battery life, a day of typical use, but some things like video and Hangouts are more battery intensive. You charge it via micro USB. This is the thing I found most interesting, compatibility. Any Bluetooth-capable phone.
So Scoble didn't have to run over to Android.
That surprised me. But if you want to use the My Glass app, which you can get, by the way, now in the store, you have to have Android 4.
And by the way, here's a problem. So I downloaded, and they've done it again. According to one report, it won't work with apps accounts.
Oh,
So it's just I'm trying to move everything over to my apps account. I have to now do something.
That's
I'm going to be committed to it with my Gmail account.
that's really frustrating.
That is frustrating.
Rex Hammock, who's this wonderful guy, publisher in the South, who I've known online for years, he finally moved his Google Plus over to his own account, his apps account. It took a month, and he lost stuff along the way, and he's kind of saying, unless you have a really good reason to do it, don't do it. So now I'm sitting with trepidation saying, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to commit to something because Google didn't get their act together.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, my only issue, and I guess it could be solved since it's connected to your phone, is that it doesn't have 4G just automatically built in, so this thing is always on. But I'm assuming you're required to have a phone to use this.
A little spigot there that puts the beer in your mouth. Jeez, Lamar.
No, he has a hat for that.
Absolutely.
All right, and now apparently another city has been named. God, this is the jealousy episode.
Yeah.
First it was Kansas City, Missouri. Then it was Austin, Texas, and now Google Fiber is going into Provo, Utah next.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one.
Just happened.
Just happened, yeah.
Oh.
So what's interesting about that is that they're rolling it out so fast. I mean, I thought that KC was just a demo, but maybe not. Maybe they want to. Maybe there's more going on here than meets the eye, right?
Well, I'm not moving to Utah.
Provo is a very techie. These are all the three things these have in common. Well, certainly Austin and Provo. They're Silicon Prairie. They're calling it Silicon Prairie, Silicon Hills, Silicon Slopes. These are all big tech cities.
We got the Silicon Alley here, darn it, Google.
Well, yeah. What about that? And what about Silicon Valley?
Well,
and what about Telecom Valley, aka Petaluma, California, U.S. of A?
I have the former AT&T headquarters in my town.
So what is LA called?
Sin City, baby.
Armpit of America.
No, don't say that.
My old professor at Claremont, his wife would never come down because he was in the armpit of America.
Did you read the FAQ after you looked at the specs? Kind of tongue-in-cheek funny. You can't scuba in Glass. That would be kind of tempting. Scuba dive in Google Glass. It can't get wet, apparently.
You do in the rain.
Well, it can get a little wet, maybe. Maybe you have to wear a hat.
Yeah. Some people are actually thinking they could scuba dive. I guess that they had to put that in there. People are actually assuming that will work.
And Gina, they've released, besides the app, have they released an API?
They have. They announced the API. They call it the Mirror API. And it looks like very, very simple REST API OAuth. They shipped SDKs in Python and Java, of course, because it's Google. That's what they do. And they released guidelines as well. What's interesting, I haven't had a chance to dig into the Mirror API yet, but you don't actually run apps on Glass, from what I can tell. Oh, and by the way, Glass apps are called Glassware. You don't run apps
Oh.
on glass. Now for some reason, and I guess I just didn't. I was thinking that Glass ran Android on it, but I don't know if that's actually true. So the apps don't actually run on Glass. It's a cloud API, right? So the user kind of authenticates their Glass with the API, and then you send you send API calls to Google through the cloud, and then it notifies your Glass, and that's how you show those timeline cards. Also, really interesting, they released the terms of service, the Mirror API, no ads. Ads are forbidden.
I saw that. You cannot have an ad.
Which is
Very Apple-like.
fascinating, right? I mean, Google's an advertising company, and the companies that are releasing the first sort of Glassware apps are Evernote, New York Times, Twitter. I mean, these are all ad-based businesses. So I can't tell if this is a launch thing, or they just want to keep it clean for launch, right? Because to me, I'm not huge on advertising, but to me, one of the things about Glass that I would love to see is things like, hey, there's a Foursquare special at the place down the street, which is kind of an ad, right? I mean, New York Times top stories, those are going to have ads on them, right? I mean, I imagine if I had Glass, I would have found out about the bombings, this week on Glass versus on Twitter, which is where I actually found out about them. So it's interesting. That no ads part was very, very interesting. It must be just about sort of having a clean launch. And, the advertising thing has been one of the critics' sort of biggest points, right? Like, oh yeah, let's give the world's biggest advertising company like real estate right in front of your face.
Yeah,
like this is
I'm
their
actually
way of
happy about this. I don't want ads on my Glass.
Yeah, I agree. I'm happy too, but I'm also just perplexed.
I do think that there's a real value to location-aware offers, maybe.
And are those not ads? I mean,
If you opt for it, are they?
Well, on Foursquare, every bit of content is kind of the same.
Right.
So
but those are
I think what's going to happen is
sponsored-
your Glass will drive you to your phone, and your phone is where you're going to find the commerce.
There you go.
I think
Okay.
one of the best apps that should be on here, in my opinion, is that Field Trip app. I played around with that when I was in New York, and that was like really helpful. It will just pop up local landmarks as I was driving by them in a cab, and that
Right,
would
and
be
that's an
something that would be
example,
cool.
Lamar, where the full app is not going to work
Yeah.
on Glass. I don't think very well. You're going to have to do a
No.
Glass version of that, and you're going to go to your phone for more.
Absolutely, you'll just pop up, hey, you're here, and then look at you're right. Look at your phone for more.
And there'll
This is
probably
the
be a
new-
little
the new
like
universal sign for Glass.
This.
the eyebrow pinch. I would imagine. I wonder how much information will be on there. I think some of this has to do with the fact that there's not. Did they give the resolution of the screen? They didn't. There can't be probably a lot of information on that little screen.
No, can't
So it's going to
That's
be a chime and an icon. Dong.
Yes.
Look at your
It's an
phone.
answer to
yeah.
a question.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of direction. You're not going to be reading the New York Times on your Glass. You're going to say
No.
bulletin, something's happening, and you're going to go to another device.
Right.
right? It's gonna be
You just can't do it.
breaking news. Yeah.
But
It'll be
imagine on a day like Monday, and by the way, our hearts and
Yes.
Indeed.
prayers
Yes.
go out to everybody in Boston. But imagine on a day like Monday where everybody's fixed to the news, probably a lot of people watching on TV. And if in a world where everybody's wearing glass, that's all people are going to be doing is like looking up into their glass, right?
Well, I don't know, Leo. That's what this is making me think that maybe not. Maybe what Glass does is alert you, but you're not going to be staring at it, to read a whole
Right.
story.
You're not gonna be reading the whole story.
But
right?
it's
just gonna say, hey,
emasculating to look at your phone. He's never gonna live that down,
No.
is he?
He's not. No, he's not.
But didn't Sergey say in effect at TED the point of glass is so that you don't have to look at your phone?
Yeah.
I think for most
yeah.
notifications, it makes sense.
These are all questions that Robert Scoble will be answering later today.
Where is Robert?
So
Where is
mad.
he picking up his pair? Is he picking up his pair in San Francisco?
He had to go and get it at Google.
Okay, not
So,
you.
but I'm wondering, we're all going to have to do that? I guess we
you
have to
have
get
to-
trained.
It's
That was what
New
the-
York, L.A., or San
But
Francisco.
that was for the people who were invited via the Twitter contest. What about
Well,
No,
I see. Right.
I think they're all explorers. I think
all
we're
of us are explorers?
Well, I
Explorer
saw something
edition.
different. I saw some option to mail. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought they were going to mail it to us Google I/O recipients.
No, trust me, Robert wanted to go to Google to parade up there to get it.
Yeah.
I know Robert
So
well.
here's the question then. So when I get it, since I can't do anything right, like change my Skype in in Ubuntu, I won't be programming anything for the Glass. I'll be using whatever is made available to me and trying to figure out the implication. But what I'm hearing from you, Gina, is that I won't be getting Glass apps. I'll be getting Glass-ready phone apps, right?
No. So from what I understand, the apps don't live on your phone and they don't live on Glass. I believe that you authorize these apps. These are basically web apps. You authorize these apps through your Glass account on the web, and you grant them rights essentially to push notifications to your Glass.
Okay, so what you have here is the Glass Play Store. No, the Glass App Store.
I think
more like
so.
Chrome apps. In that sense.
More like Chrome. Yeah, I guess you'd say more like Chrome apps. I mean, I think there's going to be a section in your Google account settings, which is like just like in your Twitter account settings. These are all the accounts that can touch my Twitter. It's going to be kind of like these are all the apps that I have authorized to interact with my Glass.
UI challenges are amazing because it's not like you're going to have 100 apps constantly alerting you. Jesus, no. And how are you going to call up a new app? I feel like getting pizza now. How do you go to that app? Or is it a voice command to go to an app? It's going to be very
It will be interesting. I mean, I think it's going to be okay, Glass. I mean, I think you're going to be able to summon an app different ways, right? Voice, right? There's a way you can take a picture by doing some sort of gesture. I'm totally not completely sure, but your question about the store, that's interesting, right? There's going to be some kind of place where there's going to be a store or a place where all the apps you can discover Glass apps, right? And didn't Kleiner Perkins just announce that they're going to be investing in Glassware?
Yeah, we had the picture of them last week, right?
That's right. Yeah, we talked about it last week. I'm not entirely sure. Right, Andreessen's head. Right, but that storage, that 12 gigabytes of storage, that's a lot of storage, and it's automatically, from what I understand, synced to Google Cloud Storage, right? So you're not keeping anything on Glass. I think
going
that's
through
just
your phone.
No.
Bluetooth to your phone.
Yeah, Bluetooth to your phone. Yeah, right.
Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Was it Bluetooth or Wi-Fi?
Yes, it uses Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
Right.
And look at this in the My Glass app. You get a QR code. It says, take a photo of the QR code with Glass to start screencasting. That means I can watch the output of my Glass on my phone, right?
Oh, that's so meta.
So
I'm watching me, watch me, watch me.
I'm not sure what the app is for that. You do, when you first install My Glass, they do say, we're going to link it to your Google account. Oh, here's the unboxing. This is
unboxing Glass.
See, I
through
think
Glass.
TechCrunch says they're shipping.
They're
They're shipping the first 2,000 units. I don't mean if they're shipping them to a depot where you go pick it up, or who is this person doing the unboxing?
Dan McLaughlin.
Oh, he was the first one. Yeah. So
that's
what's his story? How come he's the first one? Is he a developer?
And
they have Snap-on sunglasses. That's cool.
Yeah, well, and I need to get Snap-on glasses. I need to go to my optician
me too.
to get that made, which is going to become wildly expensive.
Do you not have contacts, Jeff?
No.
So I can wear this with contacts, although how well this will work, I don't know, because each contact is a different prescription, so that I have near and far vision. I guess I'd want the near vision. I don't know. We'll have to see. And they have Snap-on clear glass so that you could wear that in science, doing science.
Really?
No, I don't know. But they do have, apparently they do have Snap-on clear glass.
Oh, yeah, the Snap-on clear glass, that's what I was saying. Really.
I don't think, in fact, I think they said in the FAQ, these are not protective. Do not solder in these. Yeah, no, I want a prescription, but I don't think there's any, at this point, you're not going to be able to wear them, Jeff.
It's going to be a problem.
Or you'll wear them over your glasses.
Well, that's going to be awkward as hell. They had a picture of a guy our age, Leo, who said, he's a happy glass user inside Google, but it's our one old fart in Google.
Yeah.
You made one for him.
Look, we have somebody over 40. Look.
That poor
Uncle
guy.
Joe could wear glass too. Isn't that cute?
Jeez Louise.
No, but that was the picture that was like, oh, glass will fit for even people who wear glasses, right? I know.
Yeah, but
every
how?
photo up until then had been like models.
So early on, we're not going to have that option.
No. Well, it's a template. I mean, you probably could get glasses made to that. It's just a template. That's what these are. This is a template.
Okay.
Fashionable.
I'm really hoping we'll get ours before Google I/O so we can all wear them around and talk about them.
There will be many people at Google I/O wearing them. We were just talking about this last night.
They wouldn't give me a press pass.
They wouldn't give you a press pass. Well, see,
No,
that's because you weren't yet the host of This Week in YouTube. Now you'll get a press pass next time. We all did.
Yeah, Ron had trouble and all about Android. Jason
No, you know what? They're very, and that's why. Remember, we said, "Can we get a crew in?" And they said, "No." It's very tight, and understandably, this is really for developers, less so for press.
Yeah, I'm taking up Oxygen.
Yeah, me too. I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Oh, if you really feel bad.
Not that bad. I gave Jeff mine last time. Oh no, Kevin Marks. I gave mine last time.
Kevin Marks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's a developer.
Still has your queue, I think.
He is welcome to it. What did you do? What did you do, Jason Howell, with your queue? Did you ever get the queue from your Google I/O? Or did you give it to me or whatever?
No. I got the queue. I still have it set up at home. It basically just collects
It's an
dust
attractive ball.
in a circular fashion.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so please, the minute, I don't care if it's the middle of the, hey, did you have a baby yet?
No. I'd say the only way you won't get it the minute
Well, that's what I'm worried about now. We have to do some sort of transfer of possession here. You're going to be at home with a newborn baby. You're not going to be emailing me saying, hey, come get your glass.
I could set up some sort of auto filter for the email that I did get.
That's all right.
For that email address to go direct to you.
It's all right.
Listen, if Jason has a newborn, he should have glass. Sorry, Leo. He should be wearing glass.
That's a good
gazing at
point.
his newborn all day long.
That's a
It's
good
like
point.
basically the best use of glass. Come on.
True.
Okay,
I'm down with that.
that's a very, very good point. Now
Jason, I'm putting a word in for you.
I'm going to feel
Thanks,
guilty.
Sheila.
Yeah, but I'm paying for it. And the only reason Jason ordered it right was because I said, I want it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there because I didn't get to go. If you pre-order glass, Drew Enough yesterday on TechCrunch says, here's what to expect once your number is called. You should be getting an email saying, oh, my Windows 8 has crashed again. I need a Google Pixel. Crash. Actually, it's Chrome that's crashing.
My Pixel is running
I
beautifully.
can't imagine Windows ever crashing.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Oh, man.
Was the screen not blue now?
It doesn't go blue anymore. It just does its own color. All right, let me try an Internet Explorer. It doesn't like Chrome. Here we go. If you're one of the people who signed up last year, blah, blah, in case you weren't sure, glasses really are shipping as we speak. My number was called. Oh, Drew got his number yesterday. Okay. I received the following email, which comes along with a phone number to call, a unique code, and a link to glass safety notices and terms of sale. You have to accept those. Then choose your color, and we talked about that.
There's the color.
The toughest challenge of all. You can choose to join us at our pickup events at our Google offices in Mountain View, New York, or Los Angeles, or you can choose to have your glass shipped to you. It's your call, but we'd love to meet you in person.
Oh.
Well, Gina, what are you going to do?
Okay.
Wait a minute, though. He says he's 933. We're 737. Jason, check your mailbox. Check your check your mailbox.
I'll check again.
Oh, we were told by other Glass Explorers the fulfillment is not going in order.
It's an order of importance, not number.
Apparently, it's an order of importance, and Scoble and Olenoff are more important than Lil old May.
Leo,
Yeah?
I'm convinced if your name was on it and mine wasn't, you probably would have gotten yours. by
No,
now.
you. That's nice because he works for me. He has to say things like that.
Give that man a face.
I would like to go down to get it, though. It'd be fun to go down to Mountain View and get it.
Sure. Oh, it's an
It
experience.
would, that would be fun. That would be really fun. I was just
They
going to go
should-
to LA.
they should-
Right.
They should
But-
give you a loaner piece that you can wear during the whole experience of getting the glass, right? You know.
It says you'll meet with a member of the glass team to have them fitted properly. See, that you don't get that if you just get them shipped to you. And then get a basic walkthrough of the device and operating system. You're encouraged to, quote, bring a friend. Good. So I will bring a friend. That's good. So we'll bring a cameraman.
Oh, bring Jake. That's good. Oh,
yeah,
good.
we'll have somebody shoot it.
And
you should
Gina,
bring
if
Jake.
you're coming to L.A., I'll be your friend, and then we'll have wine afterwards, and you'll forget that you have it. And then
She'll leave it on the bar. Oh, look, somebody left their
sounds
glasses. I'll make sure they get them back. Wow. Well, this is, so
I
we're
need to
getting
find
close.
My glass.
I like that idea. So if your glasses get stolen, it's going to say, "Hey, bozo, those are my glasses."
Exactly.
Did you
Well-
see? I forget who it was who came up with the term of art now for a person who behaves badly wearing glasses is, of course,
Glass hole. Glass hole. I knew it. I knew that. So you got glassware. Glass was a good name for a trademark. Glassware, glass hole, the mirror API, mirror glass. I like that.
Looking Glass, Alice.
And I am still, Jeff in London saying this glass thing is totally oversold. I am still skeptical. I just want it because I want to try it, but I find this hard to believe that this is going to be anything but a car wreck. But we'll see. Why are you laughing?
I just think it's funny. You think it's gonna be a car wreck?
It's going to be a car wreck.
I mean,
always say that.
I don't always say that. Dvorak always says that. Some technologies I love. I'm a pro technology. I'm a technology lover. But you also have to say, hey, when something's kind of like this can't possibly work. And I find this hard to believe that people wearing these little things is going to go anywhere at all.
Oh, but look at what Google. I mean, the Pixel, mind you, I adore the machine. It's wonderful. But I've said it's not going to become huge. Glass is not going to become huge.
No.
Self-driving cars are not going to become huge under Google.
Right.
It's going to take a long time.
Right.
But Google is really pushing this. I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts besides yours, Leo.
Yeah.
Is a guy named Peter Day at the BBC who does a show called it's a business show. I forget the name of it. But Peter Day's World of Business. And he interviewed Eric Brynjolfsson and his co-author, whose name you always forget because you're so proud you remember Brynjolfsson and you can't remember the other name. Race Against the Machine. And they do the old story of the wise person who was rewarded by the Chinese king. What do you want? I just want a chessboard and 1 grain of rice.
One grain of rice.
The second, blah, blah, blah. Right. And their point is it's things start to get crazy in the second 32 squares.
Right.
And we're now in the second 32 iterations of Moore's Law.
Right.
And we're in the second 32 of wild innovations you never could imagine. So one of their examples is, for example, that they said one of the things that will never be taken over by machines, because it just can't be, is being a truck driver. Because there's so many decisions you have to make and blah, 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 blah. And of course, now we have this. And we have UPS drooling over the chance of getting this. So I think that's where Google is. That's the whole moonshot talk. That's the whole, X Labs is they're pushing. They're trying to push because it still goes back to saying the more we use the internet for the more reasons, the more money they make. And they're set up in a position better than anyone else, including Facebook, to make money that way. So I think that you're right, Leo. These things in and of themselves as Google branded products, they don't care if they take off. But if they push everybody else, things will come out that'll be good for Google.
But really, do you think so? Somebody else is going to make glass and it's going to take off?
We're going to see. I think we're all going to see some measure of notification that's going to be acceptable and will work. Whether we'll have a camera on at the same time or not,
might be a watch.
That's where other people will try. Yes, there have been tries before, but I think notification up by your eye makes perfect sense. This is geeky, and everybody's gonna make fun of it, but everybody made fun of us walking down the street talking on a phone,
right,
and then talking without the phone, right? So we adapt. I think there's some kind of constant notification structure that we're gonna want.
I'm not adverse to the idea of glass. I just think it's ungainly.
But this is not a product. This.
No, I mean that. But really I wouldn't expect it to be. You're right. There's no reason.
It's a proof of concept of an idea where they've gotten 10,000 people, right? 10,000 people in on it,
right?
And actually covered the basic costs of it while they're at it. So there's going to be all kinds of development, all kinds of surprising, wonderful things. As I mentioned, my student Andy Kropa is coming up with something that's going to help people with dementia and Alzheimer's patients recover their days using this. Right?
Well, I'll wear it.
All kinds of applications like that.
I'll wear it. And my Pebble watch. And my monocle. I'm going to wear them all.
Did you get your Pebble?
Not yet.
You said monocle?
Yeah.
You still haven't gotten it?
No. So here's the deal. So they sent me a note saying, hey, yeah, you ordered yours in a color. We're having trouble with the color. So would you like black? And I said, yes. And then nothing. So...
I've sold mine so long since I forgot.
You already sold yours?
He's like already received and sold. Leo, I laughed at the car wreck thing just because I'm skeptical too. I don't know how to feel about it, but I just don't presume to know that I know the future. Like I still just want to try it to get an idea. We all thought that it was crazy that we'd all walk around wearing headphones, right? There's plenty of technology we all thought that would be crazy that no one would accept. Yeah. So I just kind of want to try it. I got to tell you though, what Jason was saying last night, when we go to Google I/O, some people are gonna have glass and some people who won't.
Lots of people are going to have glass. Haves and have-nots. Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to walk around wearing these things in public. Like right now, I feel like just the kind of the social implication is I've got $1,500 to, disposable income. I have this. I'm connected to Google, or I have access to Google. I'm living sort of the techno-utopian lifestyle that sort of this early access to these types of things signifies. And I'm not sure if I'm
It's
ready to identify with all that.
hole.
No, I
You're a
get
glass
it.
Glass hole. Right, yeah, right, exactly.
It is
You know
very
that
much-
That's what people are gonna think.
It's
when
a
you walk down the street.
1%. It's very much flaunting.
It's very much a 1% thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
A techno 1%.
This is a reference that Leo will understand. It's like wearing a Nehru jacket.
Worse. Although that pretty much marked you as a glass hole too.
This is going to be one of those things. Like, I remember when the Kindle first came out, and I got on a train, and people, it's that. Oh, what is that? And
Right.
can I see it? Can I touch it? And I have a feeling, and I don't let them because I'll show you, but you can't have my thing that I just got. This is my precious. So you can imagine people saying with the glass, "Oh, can I try it on?" And it's that privacy invasion thing. So, Gene, I kind of agree with you. It's gonna be weird in public.
But
People are gonna look at
we
you
all have
weird.
that experience when, at least certainly I did with the first iPad and the first iPhone. Whenever you have a new technology and you're the first, Kindle's a very good example, you do get attention. But that's generally positive attention. I think Gina's point is it's kind of going to be negative. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
look at him over there. He thinks he's something.
The
Right, or
first
is
brick
he
phones,
recording?
Right.
The first brick phones. It's
That.
a really good. The
First
thing
brick
about
phones, people
glass,
make
That's a
fun
good
of.
example, yeah.
because it's on your face. I don't know how many people are going to say, "Can I try on your glasses?" That's a very personal thing to say. I might have said to someone, "Can I see your Kindle?" But I wouldn't ask them to wear their
Oh,
glasses.
but
It
that's
is a very
interesting,
personal
Gina,
thing.
right? You can't share it the way you can share other things. Right?
No, you
Lamar
can't.
could show his Kindle to somebody, even while holding on to it for dear life.
Yeah, because you're wearing. It's funny, when I take the baby out and I have her in the stroller, people will touch her and talk to her and stuff. If I have her in the ergo, if I'm kind of wearing her on my
Right.
chest, people
They
are
can't
much
do that.
less likely to
Yeah.
touch her because it's just kind of a personal space thing. It's the difference between wearing something and carrying it, right? So, but I think with glass is going to introduce the whole like, are you taking pictures? Are you recording me right now?
Yeah.
And I think that people are just kind of stare at the little cyborg thing, and be like, what's that? And distract them a little bit.
I predict it's going to become such a cliche in San Francisco. You're going to get so used to seeing it out there that it's going to become no big deal. And a lot of people spent money to look cool who aren't going to look cool anymore. And it's going to be just
Really?
I think you should loudly say, Gina, "We are Borg," and then just scare the heck out of them. See
I
what
am
happens.
Locutus. You wanted something? Let me ask Gina. But with the glass app, somebody in the chat room said you could say, well, yeah, this is glass. Let me show you what I'm seeing.
Oh, that's true. That's
Wouldn't
a good
that be
point, Michelle.
cool?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That's probably why they do that. Right. Okay. Good. Got it.
I don't think because they're $1,500, I don't think you're going to see a whole bunch of them around for a while.
Oh, in San Francisco, I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I'm interested to see what percentage
For something
of
that is
the
very,
listeners are
something that
actually
is
gonna buy them.
very speculative.
There's a lot of rich glass holes in San Francisco.
What do you all think this is going to drop down to? I predicted a very aggressive $500 price a year from now, just to get it in people's hands. Is that too drastic of a drop?
Yeah, I don't think that, that's an interesting question, Lamar. You can imagine this phone to get this to the price that the Nexus 4 got to. They really had to do some neat things and subsidize, right? The glass, what's the expensive technology there?
Oh, I don't know. That's
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know.
I'm not so sure. It's so
Really?
I think it's just the tininess of it, the compactness
yeah.
of it.
But once
right?
you've gone through that expense and amortized that, it's not like you're buying a big piece of beautiful Gorilla Glass.
Well, we'll know pretty quick because
Right.
presumably iFixit will have a copy of it. Have one sometime in the next few days, and they'll do a teardown.
They'll do a
They
tear down.
every.
We'll know what's in there. I'm thinking more and more that it isn't enough. It will not run apps directly, right? So it doesn't have to be quite as fast or powerful a machine.
Yeah, if it's dependent on your phone for the
Right.
most part, I can't see them going over
Yeah, you might be
$500 for this. I think
But even
that's
that's a
too
lot.
expensive. I think that's just too expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has two antennas in it, right? It has your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth antenna in it. It has some smarts in it to handle the memory offload and that kind of stuff, and the display.
Right.
It's got the little display, but that's not that's just
That's
a
just
cube
an
of
LCD.
glass.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Let's
got-
take a break. We got to do our change log. We got lots more to do. Jeff Jarvis is here from City University of New York, the author of Public Parts. Lamar Wilson from his own YouTube channel, Lamar Wilson, and of course our new show just launched this week. It's called This Week in YouTube. It's every Sunday right before Twit on the Twit Network. Thank you for being here, Lamar. Gina Trapani from smarterware.org, BuzzMachine. No, that's Jeff's. Smarterware.org and thinkup.com. Get ready. Get the trumpets. Changelog coming up in a bit. But first, a word from Shutterstock.com. Shutterstock, amazing place. If you're a publisher, if you're a blogger, if you need images, if you need illustrations, photos, vectors, video clips, you gots to go to Shutterstock.com. I'm going to log into my account. Before I do that, let's do some searching. One of the things, they have the 25 million stock photos. So you got to figure Shutterstock's going to do something really extra special. Let me log in here, Chad, before, thank you. They've got to do something extra special with the search. And in fact, they have about the smartest search I've ever seen in my life. You don't have to be a member of Shutterstock to try it. You can search for emotions. You can search for colors. They have a spectrum search tool that lets you choose a color from a color wheel. So you can pick all the images that you want in the colors that you like. You could search for cranky hippos or happy hambagangas, or look at this. This is green. I'm green in the, look at this, pretty. So I'm using green. So now this is very useful because if you are designing something and you want to use a particular shade of green, you can get images with that kind of green. Isn't that pretty? That just makes me, that's a search for forest in a particular spectrum shade. Shutterstock.com. They add 10,000 images every day, so there's always something new at Shutterstock. You could choose 2 ways to pay, and I like this. You can get individual image packs or monthly subscription for the best deal, 25 images a day with a standard monthly subscription. That's really popular for publishers. If you're a blogger, you got to have an image with every blog post. You'll see, in fact, a lot of the blog posts say images courtesy Shutterstock at the bottom, that kind of thing. We were talking with Joshua Topolsky. He said, when I was at Engadget, we used Shutterstock like crazy for inspiration, for planning, for just fun. Let's try. Give me a word, a noun.
Earth.
Earth. Ooh, that's inspiring. Look, by the way, earthquake, Earth Day, Earth Globe, Earth from Space. Just want to have a bunch of images of Earth from space. These are so great. And then they have these light boxes, which are beautiful, which means you can use the light boxes to share images with coworkers, both for, inspiration. See, save to Lightbox right there. I'm going to create a new Lightbox. We're going to call it Earth Images or Earth Tones, and then share that with others. I just love Shutterstock. The greatest search tool, the spectrum tool, the shareable light boxes all make it a really great tool for anybody who needs images in their publications. And, I don't have my iPad with me, but the iPad app, Webby award-winning iPad app, is just fantastic. There's also a global company. They have offices in more than a dozen countries, so that means multilingual customer support, of course, multi-languages on the site, and Germany, China, Italy, Brazil, Belgium, and so forth. They're all over the place. Of course, dedicated corporate reps in each of those countries and full-time customer support throughout the week. Shutterstock. Try it today. You don't need a credit card to set up your free account. Just start an account and begin using it, even just for brainstorming. If you decide to purchase, we've got a special deal. As always, use our offer code TWIG4, TWIG and the number 4, and you'll get 30% off any package. Get the subscription. You're going to save like crazy. Shutterstock.com, 30% off new accounts. But you've got to use the offer code TWIG4. We thank Shutterstock for their support of This Week in Google. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Google Changelog.
The Google Changelog.
Woo.
Gina Trapani, what's new on Google?
Did you hear about the new inactive account manager?
Yeah, for when you die. Yeah.
When you die, or when you stop using your Google account, Leo, which, could be death, but could be other situations too.
I could move to China. Yeah.
You could move to China.
Yeah.
So Google launches a new inactive account manager. This is a part of your Google account settings that lets you specify what happens if you stop using your Google account for a certain amount of time. So you choose a timeout period, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. You add your phone number and you add 10 trusted friends or family members, their phone numbers, their email address, and you let Google know, hey, you know what, get in contact with these people and give these people access. For example, you could say, give these people access to my account to download my data through Google Takeout. Or you can tell Google, just shut down my account after so much time.
Yeah, you may not want, for instance, anybody to see what's in that account. So you may just say, hey, Google, after 3 months, 6 months, a year, if I don't log in, they send you an email saying, hey, you're not logged in. We're going to do something. And then they delete it, which may be what you want, right? For privacy.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. They give you a month. So they email you, they contact you, or they try to contact you, and you give your phone number as well to say, hey, you know what? In a month from now, we're going to take this action that you specified in the inactive account manager. You have to turn this on.
Leo, did you still have the email you set up on Twit?
Yeah.
So it's still set up that. Because you were laughing that if I got to remember to go back and change this.
Oh, yeah. I set it up on Twit this week, and the message that goes out to all my friends when I die is, I was Batman. You're right. I forgot to take that off. Whoops.
You can also set up an automated response that goes out to people who email you after this event of inactivity comes the timeout period. So I haven't actually set this up yet. I have to kind of think this through. Like, who are the 10 people who I'd want to give access to my Google account, or do I want to do that? Do I want to just have it deleted?
I think this is so great. I just think
great.
I would want everything deleted, but I would kind of want my videos still up. I wish they had a way to specify which parts can be deleted and which parts can stay up.
Dave Weiner has talked for a long time about the need for, kind of a digital will and a digital executor. Who can follow your wishes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's what this is, in a way.
Yeah. I mean, my plan was like, well, I'll just leave my LastPass, my one master password, behind.
Which, of course, your wife won't be able to figure out.
Right, exactly. Which my loved ones will not be able to figure out, especially my wife. She'll be like, "Of course, she made me use this stupid thing." I love LastPass, but it's a little complicated for the non-power user. But the fact is, I change my master password sometimes. Things happen. You change your password, so it's just hard to keep it up to date. And where do you keep it? Do you lock it in a safe somewhere? So I really like this, and I hope to see. And I think that as sort of the web apps mature and this becomes an issue, that more hosted apps will do this sort of thing. Let you say what happens to my data if I disappear.
Good.
What else do it? Yeah. So next up, the Chrome beta for Android got a new update, a couple of cool new features that we'll soon see in stable. These features move pretty quickly from beta to stable. There's a new full screen on phones mode. As you scroll down the page, the toolbar kind of gets folded under and disappears. And when you scroll back up, it reappears so you can see your URL. When you search in Google in the search box, the keywords that you search for right now in the stable version, you search in Google and they appear in the Google search box. So you have to go edit them in the search box in the page. And with this new update, they actually stay in the Omni box, which is the kind of the URL search keyword area. So that makes it a lot easier to edit your searches after you've searched.
That's good.
Yeah, which is nicer. And also on tab history on tablets. So the Chrome beta on Android tablets, if you long press on the back button, you will be able to view your tab history. Speaking of mobile search, Google's been making some changes to some of its results. There's a new quick view badge for sites like Wikipedia. So if you search for, I think the example they gave was poker hands. The Wikipedia page happens to be the first result. You'll see a small blue badge on the bottom right hand of the search result, which Chad is showing us right now. And you click on that and you can see a preview of the Wikipedia page. So you can kind of read the Wikipedia page without actually going to the Wikipedia page.
Cool.
Just quick access to the information you want. Kind of along those lines, Rotten Tomatoes is getting the website Rotten Tomatoes is getting some special treatment that apparently more websites are going to get. If you search for Rotten Tomatoes on your phone, the results will actually break out Rotten Tomatoes categorization of movies into subsections actually in the results. So I think the top result is, what's in theaters right now, show me theaters now, what's in theaters now. And then the first option is best movies in theaters right now. So right there in Google search results, you say, show me the best movies in theaters right now, which makes a lot of sense. If you're searching for movies on your phone, chances are you want to go to one. And Google says that this kind of functionality will roll out for other websites.
Love that.
Many sites will have similar functionality going forward. Also in Chrome, and this is on the desktop when you install Chrome extensions, Google's adding some security measures to protect you from malicious binaries. I guess Chrome extensions that don't follow all of Google's guidelines about how to deploy and change settings, maybe that they shouldn't be changing. Google's starting to flag those as malicious, and will show you a warning if you try to install them. So we always welcome that little extra security. And finally, we talked about this earlier. The Google Glass My Glass companion app is out for Android. It's in the Play Store. It's Android 4.0 and up only. You can't do anything with it unless you actually have Glass. And the web-based setup wizard for if you do get Glass is also live. So the My Glass companion app just gives you, like Leo said earlier, just lets you get SMS and navigation pushed from your phone. And Leo, they said that Glass will work with any Bluetooth-enabled phone, but the My Glass app is only available for Android 4.0 and above. So I don't know what that means. Is Glass going to work with the iPhone?
Maybe
it'll be
just
interesting to
as a
see.
very fancy, expensive earpiece.
Yeah, perhaps.
Well, the My Glass doesn't do much. The biggest thing it does is that play back the video that you're seeing through the phone, and then it lets you set up some stuff on Glass. I presume.
Well, it's an open API, right? So that you
so you could write apps to.
Write an app
It pushes SMS messages to Glass, and it uses the GPS of your phone as well. So navigation, location. So that's significant, right? I mean, those are two huge use cases for Glass. So that's out for all of us who don't have Glass yet, but will soon. That's all I got.
Okay, did you already install it? I did. I want to be ready.
You want to be ready for the minute that it arrives. I haven't installed it yet, but I'm totally going to install it.
Now, Gina, with the Bluetooth 4.0, which I'm assuming all the Android phones will have, you can have multiple devices at the same time, right? Because I sometimes play my radio. Through the phone and other. Things.
Lots of. You can have multiple Bluetooth devices.
Cool.
But wait a minute though. Can you have multiple paired?
That's what I was asking.
Time. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think so.
That will be
that's a big point. I don't want to get in the car and not be able to use my Bluetooth connection to my phone because I've got Glass on.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not getting it. That's it.
That's it. It's done.
Done.
Yeah.
And that, speaking of done, is the Google changelog. Facebook kind of ran down like that. Facebook Home is getting terrible reviews on the Play Store, but you explain this, Lamar. 48% of users gave it 1 star. Lamar says it's just because they don't have a phone that can use it.
People say I was incorrect with that. And I probably was. That you have to install something in the Play Store before you can
review it. Oh, okay.
So I have no problem taking that back. I still believe that these people who got it didn't spend more than 5 minutes with it and got disgusted.
They just don't like Facebook.
Yeah,
it's a chance to vote on Facebook.
It popped up. They freaked out.
Right.
And then they gave it a 1. I just think people on the Android stores, particularly, they probably do it in the Apple store too. The Play Store, is that they're too quick to judgment without giving something some time. I personally like Facebook Home because I'm looking at it from a different point of view. For the person who's immersed in Facebook, this is perfect. And I don't care about Android on the bottom end, and that's really what Facebook wants you. They don't want you to care about the OS. They want you to just use Facebook and the apps that you love to use.
So I'm going to install it right now.
You don't have to be afraid to say you like it, Lamar.
She doesn't sound...
No. I mean, I think it's a really good, well-designed app. We reviewed it last night on All About Android. Ron Richards reviewed it. And he's not a huge Facebook user, but even he was like, this is really well-designed. And I interacted with Facebook so much more having this up. And for someone for whom Facebook is the main thing they do on their phone. And, for me, it's just Twitter. Twitter is one of the main things I do on my phone. I mean, I do social, just doesn't happen to be Facebook. It makes a lot of sense that, you don't have to tap through a bunch of apps in order to get stuff done. So, I really like the idea of Facebook Home. I don't happen to be a huge Facebook user, but I think that the concept that is very powerful.
You know what? Those people were wrong. I just installed Facebook Home on this HTC One, which I thought it supported. I was able to install it, but then it said, thanks for installing Facebook Home. Your device is not supported yet. So I would give it a 1 star. After
So you can rate. Can you rate now?
Can I write a review? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd give it 1 star because it doesn't work.
So you could install something even if it's not compatible.
Well, I guess in this case, a lot of times, no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. Usually you shouldn't be able to, but there are some apps when it happens. And I don't know if that's because they're rolling out HTC One compatibility. I mean, they said they were.
They said that was going to work on the One.
It might be just too early. You might just be, one of the first people who has the One. I mean,
Right.
you are.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Because
But
I'm
that is a
usually
frustrating
always right.
experience.
Hmm.
That's a frustrating experience. That deserves a 1-star review.
Yeah, I think that would explain a lot of those bad reviews. Meanwhile, Eric Schmidt says, I love it.
He did.
Holy cow.
He has to say that,
Why? He can't
Because
say I hate it. They're evil. That's the evil empire. You should trust us, not Facebook.
He has to appear open, for open source. So he, or the idea, that's what he was saying. So he has to embrace it. I bet behind the scenes they're kicking themselves that Google Plus didn't do it first.
I wish Google Plus would do it. This is
It
just
might make
steal
people
it.
actually use Google Plus.
I would use it.
if they
I'd
did.
just steal it.
Yeah.
Steal it outright. Just say, hey, nope.
Yeah.
I like that Schmidt said it took some guts for them to do it. It's good.
And in my opinion, it really puts things like HTC, Samsung to shame that they have to put all their crapware inside Android and embed it where Facebook can just lay right over it, and you get all the function that you need.
And
I
you
love
could turn it off if you didn't like it.
Yeah.
I have to say on the Sense 5, which is part of this HTC One, they have that home front page that combines a bunch of stuff, and I kind of like it. I mean, it's not quite Facebook Home, but it's kind of, you see these are from Facebook, Flickr. You see different posts from different. Oh,
That's
sorry.
a nice angle.
You like that head? Sorry,
Nice
we
full
moved
head of
we
hair
pointed the camera somewhere different. So this is the front page on the HTC One with the traditional Sense, date, and weather, although it's nice and flat. And then here's a picture from Coachella. Here's Facebook postings, Flickr postings. I presume Twitter as well, and so forth. So I think that's a nice way to do it. It's like Flipboard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's somewhat like home. I don't have the chat heads, but gosh, Google could just when they come out with Babel or Babel or whatever the heck they're going to call it.
Someone on Twitter said it's Babel.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like he was a Googler, but he seemed pretty sure that it's Babel. So I don't know.
But how would he know?
I know, right?
We don't know. When Google tells us how to pronounce it, you could be either way. But the Babel fish in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is pronounced Babel.
Yeah. Well, one of the ways I made Facebook Home really useful is I took things like I talked about this on Twit, but I took things like Twit, Mashable, Verge, and all these things I normally have in Facebook. In Flipboard, and I like them on Facebook. So now
you're seeing them.
Yeah, I turn on my phone and I can see news as it happens.
That's
I
a
put
good
breaking
idea.
news in there. So it's really helpful. And the nice thing is, if you don't want to see your family feed or certain friends, you can turn them off of your news feed and just show your news feed without a lot of the crap on it. So I think it has a lot of potential. I'm very positive toward it because that is where my audience is and that is where my friends are.
Right.
And they're just not on Google Plus. And I'm
Right.
tired of pushing that wagon along when it's not moving for me that well.
Right.
So
No, I'm with you. But again, if Google got a clue and saw this and said we could do this, I would use Google Plus more. I'd prefer to use that over Facebook, frankly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
Need more people.
Antitrust complaint against Android is an attack on open source. Yeah, whatever. Did you see this? I thought this was so surprising. Andy Rubin, the creator of Android,
Yeah.
who sold it to Google, said, what we really were thinking was a camera. It was a
I know,
camera
it's-
operating system.
It's a great story.
And it's so great that it
Yeah,
became
his-
that eventually. Only
You're
through-
right, and then it
through- we
actually
thought that
came
was so
full circle.
wowie. Somebody thought to put it in the camera.
It's a camera. It is a camera. We were right.
It's so heartening, especially for people sort of just building new things, to be like, oh, even something as successful as Android had to pivot in its early days and figure out what it should be, right? Like every good product has that moment of reckoning when it's like, oh, okay, maybe we're not this, but this is really working.
Right.
Yeah, and they said the cameras weren't a big enough market yet, which was true. because it all went smartphone. So it was a good call on them to not allow that to happen.
But these smartphones are, for many people, their camera. So
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
a way that also
They
is
converged.
the case.
Yeah.
It converged. Now my Windows machine is frozen again. All right.
Oh.
I'm going to buy a Pixel, I tell you. Does that ever freeze on you, Jeff? You ever?
No, it really honestly doesn't. I'll tell you that today I had a brief moment of self-doubt when Google Apps and the drive went down.
Let's
also
talk about
did.
that. How long was it
Yeah.
down?
Not that long, and not for everybody, but it was down for me. The front page of Drive, the directory was down for a few minutes. I don't know how long I've been down before that, but then I tried to get to the rundown. I couldn't. That's why I went. And then I only got to when I finally got to the rundown. Chad said, I was out late last night. I got to it in the morning, so I added stuff in. But I'd say 15 minutes. It was a while.
Yeah, I was prepping for my show. I do on 5x5, and we use a document to get ready for the show, and I couldn't get. It was just a 500, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this show.
That makes you
Yeah,
second guess the cloud, doesn't it?
It did.
Well. But then I went to this. Fortunately, I didn't finish the experiment here. So then I said, well, but I have a Chromebook and I have local storage of the cloud. And so I went to the Chrome app, the offline Chrome app, and sure enough, there was a directory of everything there. And it said it was synced, 7 minutes ago. I said, great. And then I tried to open it, and because I was online, it tried to go open up the online version. And I was about to then go offline to make sure that I actually did have it stored locally, but then it came back. So I didn't fully experiment with
so you weren't
that.
able
But
to-
no, I do have local storage. But it does make you think. It does make you say.
It makes you think for a second, like, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't keep stuff that I really need to be here all the time on here.
Or
But
do I have some automated way? Because the problem is I have more problems with Dropbox than I do with the cloud. The cloud Docs works fine, except for this morning. The other thing, by the way, in full disclosure, that happened on the Chromebook was I was getting these horrible full-page takeover ads. And I thought this was acting like, and I was acting like I was changing DNS and doing a route around. I thought this does not happen on Chrome OS, but it was called infinity ads. And so somebody just in Twitter said, just go erase the cookies, dummy. And I did, and it's gone.
Wow.
But
Where
they
was that
managed-
coming from?
This thing called infinity ads. And you would go to a site, it had nothing to do with the site, it would suddenly open up a full-page blow-up, which in the old days, you did that by doing a DNS route through.
Right.
It was a really devious thing.
The ISPs can do that, can't they?
Yeah, there was a ISP in Florida, I think, that was doing that. It was pretty horrible. But how did you get that on your system? That's bizarre.
It was the cookie. So when I erased the cookie, it was gone. So I
Jeff,
sent
I'm so
messages
tempted to troll you and be like, those dang cookies, they're killing the internet. Sorry. Sorry. Poor Jeff. We're baiting him too much already because of the Pixel.
Yes.
Well, that's just an odd thing. I don't understand
Yeah,
that.
That's odd. I still there's something to be done here. Yeah.
That sure feels like malware, to be honest.
It kind of does. Yeah. And you think well, here's the other thing is because of you and the need for Skype, I don't know whether I'm less secure because I'm in dev mode.
Right. That
On
may
the
well
machine.
be. Yes.
It may well be. Yes.
That may
Maybe
well be.
more
And that's
vulnerable.
our fault.
It certainly is.
Yes.
Most certainly is.
Certainly is. Well, what we're hoping is that we can get WebRTC working. And
That would be very cool.
That would be very nice. Someday.
And then the great thing about that is you can write your own darned app to do whatever you want to. There'd be neat things you can do with that.
Right.
Well,
Righto. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else.
I think you did. I think you did.
The Twitter music, did we talk about that?
Well, it hasn't launched yet. We've talked about it before,
Yeah.
but there's nothing to see here. If you go to music.twitter.com,
That's true.
we keep waiting to hear what's going on. They have created a launching page. Oh, I know what else. The Galaxy S4 now available on all U.S. carriers this month. So I'm going to probably get one on my T-Mobile account. So we'll have a little head-to-head between this and the HTC One.
I'm going to get it on T-Mobile myself.
Yeah, me too. And somebody said on VentureBeat that the crapware that comes on the Galaxy S4 will mark the beginning of the end of Samsung's smartphone dominance. This is an opinion piece, obviously, by John Coetzee, than the Mobile Beat. He says it's because of, this crappy stuff like the hover and the follow your eyes and all of that stuff. There's so much kind of Gimcrackery. How do you pronounce that? Gimcrackery on there.
I don't know, Grandpa. How do you pronounce that?
It's all that Gim. Yeah. Them doodads.
1962.
It's doodads.
That's a new one on me.
You never heard Gimcrackery?
Gimcrackery, Tom.
I'm way too young to understand.
Yeah, Gimcrackery. That's a new one.
It's. I just made it up. Maybe I don't know.
Gina and I are in our 20s, so we don't know.
Yeah, you young people, you'll be old someday too.
You snapper whippers?
Napper himpers.
Whippersnappers?
Yeah.
So wait,
Oh,
he's calling the Samsung apps like the eye tracking and all that crapware?
Gadget. Yeah, gadget. Gimmickry. Yes, and I think he's probably
The funny
right.
thing is, the Samsung thinks it's what distinguishes it.
Differentiates it, right?
And it does in my mind, too. Yeah, it makes me say, no, thanks.
Well, but is the difference between Samsung's translation app and its nav app and all that just that it's and Google's is just that it's not Google? I mean, I don't know. Do we just not take Samsung seriously as a mobile app developer?
That's a good question.
Why are these mobile apps from the carriers or the manufacturers so bad? Because they are generally, right?
They're not software development houses,
They're
right?
not.
They're not
Yeah.
web services.
That's it, right.
Even
Right.
Apple's own apps are not as good as. In fact, Google's apps for Apple are better than Apple's apps on the iPhone.
Well, but also at the same time, there is a brand thing going on here. There was a study that's up on the rundown that says that people prefer Google search results even when it's just the Google brand put on top of Bing search results.
Good for Google. And also, I saw the same thing. They get 5 times more malware from Bing than you get search results than you get from Google. Now, we'll do one last story, and then we'll get our picks of the week because we're going to wrap it up.
Thanks.
Coming up, Patrick Rothfuss, who is the author of a book series that I'm just loving called The King Killer Chronicles, a book series that Trey Ratcliffe told me, if you don't like these books, I don't want to be your friend. He will join us on Triangulation in just a bit. The Neiman Journalism Lab published, I thought, a very affirming article for me. The end of big media, when news organizations move from brands like the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, CBS, to platforms for talent. And the writers, Nico Millet and John Wibby, who are the authors of a book called, Nico is, The End of Big, How the Internet Makes David the New Goliath. Did you read this yet, Jeff?
Yeah, I got through most of it. I got distracted. Squirrel! and forgot to come back to
I just like it because what they're basically saying is that news brands should invest in the people, the talent, the names, because that's really why people follow a news brand.
Yeah, I think the problem with this is that it's not right. It's right for you, Leo. It's what you do. It's what others do. It's it's the existence of Lamar and folks like that. But my argument lately has been that thinking that we're in the content business is a trap. That we make a product called content and that it's about our value, what we bring to it is so wonderful. And I think in journalism, at least, we should see it as a service. And a service has entirely different
and that's a
metrics.
very different thing. And you're teaching journalism to young, impressionable children who should take your word because we need journalism as a service. It serves the republic. It serves.
But instead, what I see is a lot of people come in and say, "Oh, we have to have more long form journalism."
Right.
And I make fun of that because I say, I don't wake up in the morning saying, "I want to read something long today."
No.
I wanna read something
In
good
fact, you
or
couldn't even finish this
informative or-
article. It's not even that
Right,
long.
Exactly. That's the problem. And it's not that long at all. Touche. But I read it on my Pixel and it was beautiful. It was so crisp and clear. It was just magnificent. I don't know.
Looks good on this old Windows crap top too.
Well, you can't even see it because it dies.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree for certain circumstances, but I also think there's a trap. There's an editorial ego trap here that says that we're so wonderful, we writers. And I always remember the story that when I wrote, the only time I ever worked and in the same market as my parents lived is when we both lived in Chicago. And more than once, honest to God, my mother would say to me, "Did you see this story about it?" And I would say, "Ma, I know. I wrote it." My own mother wouldn't notice my byline.
Right. Well, that's true on a platform where you aggregate a lot of writers. But on the other hand, this Twitter is an example of a big ego creating a thing around the journalist. In the article, they say on Election Day 2012, more than 20% of the New York Times traffic to their website was Nate Silver's blog.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, it does. And I think the Times is smart to know that and to work with that. And they've worked with these kinds of brands. And yes, they're aware of that now. They're a collection of brands. It used to be the newspaper's brand would rub off on the writer. Now the writer's brand can rub off on the newspaper.
The real test will be Andrew Sullivan, right? Who's gone off on his own to do his own thing behind a paywall, no less.
Yes.
And so it'll be very interesting to see whether he can succeed with an outlet that is just him behind a paywall.
Yeah. I think what makes something like this so successful and so interesting is that media right now, especially what this article is saying, is really personality driven. I know what I do on YouTube is people can, they don't really care about what I'm talking about. They care about the person and how I deliver. I think primarily that's why they stop by my channel, or that's why they invest in it. And I think it's the case for any writers. There's certain writers I prefer to read on TechCrunch than I do others when I read it, because I just like their flair. And I think that's going to be the case whether we kind of like it or not. But I do agree with Jeff. Hopefully it doesn't become too egocentric where it's all about the writer. But I think the social aspect cannot be ignored here going forward.
Or it's all commentary and no reporting, because reporting is kind of a thankless task. That isn't about personality.
It's about real value. Yep. It's
about gathering facts. They also point out that social media is one of the reasons this has changed. And in order to capitalize on social media, the media brands really have to put people first up front on Twitter and Facebook. And that does make sense as well. Well, I just like it because it just kind of affirmed my model.
Yeah. No, for you it does.
Well.
Because it's all about us.
Yeah. If I only had a pixel. All right, we're going to take a break. No, we're not. We're going to go right into it.
Go right in.
Time for our tip, our tool, our number of the week. We'll start with Gina's tip of the week.
My tip this week is a really cool YouTube, so it's appropriate for Lamar, YouTube Easter egg. I'm always a sucker for an Easter egg. So YouTube celebrating the 57th birthday of the first commercially available video recorder. Okay, so to celebrate, they added on certain videos, and I can't tell why some videos get it and some videos don't, but on certain videos, a little tape recorder appears in the in the control panel on a video, and if you click on the tape recorder. Yeah, let's see.
There's one. This is a Nexus 7 ad.
This is a Nexus 7 ad, right? So you click on the tape recorder and you get the old VHS effect. Now pause it.
Pause it.
Pause the video.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So for those of you listening to the audio, you get the lovely 1980s VHS effect, which I really appreciated.
Most people watching this do not remember VHS, probably. Sad to say. That is so great.
Yeah.
That is so great.
So a really cool effect, and like I said, you can see it on some videos and not all of them. If you add an end VHS equals 1 to the URL, you can see it on the videos that it's enabled on.
There was a little knob, a tracking knob that would fix that.
Yes.
Remember that?
Oh my God, tracking.
Tracking.
Yes. Wow. That's me back.
Technology.
Jeff, your number of the week.
Eric Schmidt says that within 9 months, there will be 1 billion Android smartphones. Which, we do those numbers all the time about how many, but that's a heck of a number. That's a Facebook number, but that's hardware. People bought them. That's around the world. That's pretty impressive, I think.
It is. That's a huge number.
And he mentioned 1.5 million activations every day now.
Yeah. Still don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's the thing, Lamar. I agree. I was not going to do it because that number just washes over me now. But
it's a big number.
1 billion devices. That gets my attention.
Wow.
Yeah. And they all have Facebook Home because there's a billion Facebook people.
I already did my, I already did my tool. And of course, that's the HTC One. Well, stay tuned because the Galaxy S4 in a couple of weeks. Lamar, did you if you want, you don't have to, but you could give us a tip. Or
you could have given me a notice.
Yeah, we didn't warn you. So no, you don't have to do anything. No, your tip is do not build your own IKEA furniture. Get somebody to do it.
Yes, and to make sure you watch This Week in YouTube, because that's where you'll get the most YouTube news. This is a great show with Google, but you get the more fine-tuned news, but without the pretty face because, Jeff won't be there. Sorry.
And remember, when you watch those VHS videos on YouTube, to rewind when you're done.
Be kind. Rewind.
Absolutely. Today is, and I didn't know it until Dean Atkinson of Some All came by and said, congratulations, that this is and brought us some wine, I might add. I said Dane, didn't I? Dane Atkinson? Oh, Dane Atkinson. My 8 is falling over. Today is the 8th anniversary of the very first Twit, which we didn't even call Twit at the time, April 17th, 2005. So we got a little cake. It says, happy birthday, Twit. We are 8 years old.
That's
and I feel like a
Congratulations.
7-year-old.
Well done.
I'm glad they didn't say happy birthday, you Twit.
They would have pulled it off. This video would be pulled down. Anyway, hey, we had fun today. Thank you so much for being here. Gina Trapani, smarterware.org. She's the author of Think Up, which will soon be available for all and sundry to download and put on their devices. And there'll be a hosted solution.
Wait.
Actually, it's already available for you to do it, but there'll be a hosted solution coming soon, right?
Indeed. Yep. Coming soon. Great show today.
Thank you so much, Gina. Always great to see you. Thank you to Jeff Jarvis, City University of New York, professor of journalism, but also my inspiration and role model. And
all things except laptops.
And a nice boy.
Don't burn the place down, Leo.
He's the author of Public Parts, which you must buy at a bookstore near you. And Lamar Wilson, so nice to have you back again. Lamar's been on every show on Twit this week.
It feels like it.
Yeah, no, it's really great to have you.
On Social Hour on Friday.
Will you really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I guess.
Lamar's hustling. Love it.
The log jam of self-promotion here at Twit is broken now. And get ready, because here it comes.
I'm here to fix it.
Yeah, thank you, Lamar. You must watch This Week in YouTube. Don't watch it on YouTube, though, because it's downloaded from, jeez Louise, twit.tv/YT. That's where you can get it. We are not blocking ourselves.
The Google rep just emailed us back, say he's going to look into it. So hopefully it'll get resolved.
Thank you, Google rep, whoever you might be. Thank you all for being here. We do This Week in YouTube every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m.
What?
What
was that?
Google. This Week in YouTube. This Week in Google. Whatever the hell it is.
I've taken over.
Omar, you're his new favorite.
Yeah, I don't like you guys anymore.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
It's me and Lamar. No. This Week in Google, we do it every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. 1 + 12 is 13 + 7 is 2000 UTC for those of you watching in Switzerland. And we do invite you to watch live, but again, you can always get it after the fact. This case, the show is at twit.tv/twig or wherever finer podcasts are aggregated. I'm going to go put this cake out in the rain, but...
Yeah, a reference they won't get, Leo.
Nobody's going to get. Somebody in the chat room said that.
I love that song.
Yeah. I don't know if I can make it. It took so long to bake it, and I never had that recipe again. Oh, no. Thank you for joining us.
That's a great song.
We'll see you next time. What?
Did Justin Bieber sing that?
Yes. I'm a believer. Just me and Anne Frank together.
I knew you'd get it.
Can you believe he did that? Did he really do that, or was that just a...
No, he did it. He's full of himself.
He wrote in the guest book at the Anne Frank Memorial, and if you've ever read the Diary of Anne Frank, it's a very moving story of a young girl who was hiding from the Nazis and kept a diary until she was in fact caught, and her entire family was murdered. And Justin Bieber, visiting this historic moving site, wrote, "I have a feeling Anne would be a believer too."
Oh, no, he did not.
Yeah.
But he's only 19. Give him a break.
That boy is self-destructing.
It's right in front of our eyes, and that's why we like it. Give him Google Glass. We can see what he's seeing.
Oh, Lord.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time.